Hey, Zach, I just saw, I reached out to some folks. It seems like across the board about the measurements of the arms and the hands, that they're like way off.
Oh, really?
On the measurements between the Senior Bowl measurements as opposed to the combine measurements. And there was a time where when you would go to the combine or the Senior Bowl or these other bowl games, they had the same scouts measuring every year. So you got that consistency. And you always hated it when you would see a new guy standing up there. Because you're thinking like, okay, is he doing this right? And then you would watch, and they measure the arms. They find that spot, in your shoulder, and there's like a hole there. That's where the tape is supposed to go in that hole in your shoulder, all the way out to your fingers.
The old shoulder hole. I don't believe the shoulder hole made an appearance on the top 10 holes list back in the day. Wolchuk
did not.
But
we overlooked the shoulder hole.
But you'd watch some of these guys, and you'd go, man, he's not doing it right. I guarantee you what's going to happen now is they're going to have to go through at these pro days and remeasure all these kids.
Goodness.
That's a beating.
Yeah. Well, that's something that they do anyway. But now these, you go through, you would think that, all right, the Senior Bowl, who's right? The Senior Bowl or the combine? And so now teams are looking at it. And you've got so many players that, like guys like Will Campbell, that have questions about
Johnny Barron
arm length and things like that. And, and scouts were all kind of like numbers crazy sometimes when it comes to this.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No, that sounds
not good.
I mean,
at all.
Jerry probably doesn't mind it. We know he doesn't mind measuring players.
Yeah, you're right about that. All right. Wolchuk, I'm going to run you through some guys that,
Are they just pulling out a tape measure?
Yeah.
That's how they're doing it?
Yeah.
We can't get like some lasers up in here?
yeah, like you say how you like level a wall?
Yeah.
Like a level a picture?
Exactly.
Yeah. I've only seen it done with the tape measure, but I haven't. It's been a while.
Maybe we should look into like some next level
Can't have
consistency
a bunch of,
here.
length discrepancy.
I think we have a half an inch difference with Jalen Milroe's
Let me
hand
tell you
in a
how.
month. This is crazy.
Let me tell you how I saw a guy do a vertical jump without the Vertex machine. He carried pool chalk, like for when you play the game pool, the blue chalk.
Oh, yeah.
And he put it on the kid's finger. And then he had him reach up, touch the wall to that spot, reach as far as you could, touch the wall. So he got the mark. Then he had the kid flat foot jump straight up and touch above, and then measured the difference between where he touched and then where
getting it done.
His second.
Just the classic chalk finger.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Chalk finger. But Gil Brandt ran a kid in a 40-yard dash one time in an airport terminal.
Sometimes you just
like that.
got to get it done.
Don't get disrespectful.
He was the
with
best.
Gil Brandt
Get it done.
No, sometimes you just got to get
As long
it
as he's
done.
not making a running back list, Gil's got the
fine.
eye. He's fantastic.
No doubt.
Yeah, thanks all kinds they
Rest
do.
in peace.
Rest in peace. Wolchuk.
What's up, dude?
Okay, we're kind of getting some words that some of these players didn't have great combines. And I wonder if I say the player to you, you kind of tell me where you have them on your board,
Okay.
or where you have them ranked.
It's movement week on the big boards,
I
right?
mean, some of these guys I just had to take completely off. I mean, after just running a poor time in your underwear, off the
do it.
board. Off the board.
I was just wondering if you were going to say that.
I think the combine, and I used to love it. I think it's probably the most overrated thing we do.
Speed matters, man.
Overrated in the workout phase of it.
Yeah, like we talked about on Friday, right? Some of these guys that put up tremendous numbers. It's like it's not a shock, but it doesn't matter. Like Shamar Stewart, right?
No, I mean
Here it is, man.
No, I don't think he's wrong.
No, but of course not. This is. This is all of your work. This is what you have birthed
Oh, no.
now.
Yeah.
Wolchuk used to. I mean, just be salivating over the
I
combine.
loved it.
It was combine time. We're tiger fist pumping, and now he's just.
I'm like,
he's just trusting.
He's got
tape.
a kid He's got a kid, doesn't have time to watch.
He's just film guy now.
I tried to consume as much as I could. But
Underwear Olympics used to be better than the Summer Olympics.
I know.
Wolchuk.
Look, it's still fun to get to see these kids go out there and move. Like, I think the back pedals and the hip fluidity for some of the defensive backs. Like, I still love the wide receiver gauntlet. It's fun, right? You see one of these.
It is.
Like the one that had the double catch. You thought the drill was over.
Yes.
And it's like, oh crap! I got a one-hand snag that. Like, some of these drills are still fun. Like running the 40, cool. But
bench press.
Just because a dude runs a 4.21 like Golden, I'm not changing Golden at all in my stat because he ran a 4.29.
Okay, so this now defeats what I'm going to try and do with you.
Yeah, I'm sorry to poo-poo on it.
No, I was
three-cone drill, vertical jump,
like
explosiveness.
So
that part of it.
The offensive tackle for Minnesota,
I was going to ask you about that.
I thought that he moved well enough for me on tape. But for guys like you and Voch, like maybe that makes you think, okay, if you were out on him, are you in on him?
No, at 331 pounds, I would say that movement is...
It's good. He moved well. Yeah.
But you watch, see, this is what kills me, and I think this is where I'm with you completely on this. I'm glad that kids run better. I'm glad that they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to train for this thing. You know, I'm really, and it might be if you're in that situation, say the South Carolina safety.
Nick Emenwari, yeah.
Emenwari. If you watch him play from South Carolina, where would you put him on your board?
Second round.
Okay. I'm on the board in the third round. Okay. You watch him play, he's like a third round player. In my opinion. In Zach's, he's a second round. He goes and works out the combine, and now
some of them in the top 15 post combine mock drafts.
See, that's the thing that gets me, because it reminds me so much of, there was a guy, you might remember this guy, Mike Mamula.
Oh yeah.
Mike Mamula was at Boston College. Was picked 7th overall by the Philadelphia Eagles off a combine workout, basically. Didn't play at all like a top 10 player.
No, he was one of the first guys to train specifically for the combine.
There you go.
Like, nobody else was repping 225 a bunch of times. Nobody else was running 40s.
Right.
Trying to maximize. He did.
He hacked the system.
Got himself a big old payday.
There used to be a time,
Mikey.
There used to be a time where the combine not being on TV, the drills were secret. Like, people...
The times and everything.
Well, the times where we didn't post all that stuff, but the actual drills that we put the kids through, they didn't know what drills we were putting, so they couldn't train for them.
Oh, it was a surprise drills
Exactly.
When they get there, like, oh crap, we got to do this.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like, throw them off a little bit, because now that is a problem. Like, you listen to Lewis Riddick and Daniel Jeremiah, and they're talking about, you got guys on tape that they don't show great ball skills, but they're running this gauntlet now because they're working on it for the last 2 months.
See, that's where I was just kind of telling everybody here, if you're one of those guys or gals studying this stuff, and you think, man, this guy looks like he's playing at this level, or this, I've compared him to this guy or to that guy, your first thought about that person is probably right. Don't be messing with your board where you're just massively having big runs up the board or big runs down the board. Just know that if you see a guy, for example, Brooks, our running back, our running back from Tajay Brooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
From
Taj Brooks, Texas Tech. Ran a
4.52. That's about what he plays at.
Mm-hmm.
But you could also, what's the one thing, if you had to describe him as a player, do you have his traits? Is there anything that you...
Well, I think his pass protection is excellent. I think body control is really good.
There you go. What about balance?
Contact
quickness,
balance is pretty...
Shiftiness?
Yeah, he's quicker than he is a fast guy. Like, he doesn't have long speed.
4.02 in the short shuttle. That's the kind of stuff where I'm going... Translates. Because you could watch him on tape not play fast, but you could watch him on tape move around and do good things, because you're like, okay, that part translates. If you don't see it on tape and then you see it at the combine, it's probably a trained or manufactured thing. This is what it is. Okay. With that being said, Luther Burton, talked about him, had a 1.54-10 split on the 40.
And he's an explosive athlete.
But they're saying he probably at 4.41 should have been faster.
I thought he would run faster too. Because the straight line speed is no doubt. I mean, he's a guy, just get the ball in his hands and let him go to work. Like returner, he's got that type of special, unique skill set in open space, almost like a running back.
Tej Johnson, wide receiver, Oregon, 4.51 in the 40.
That was stunning.
That's crazy because he's only 154 pounds.
Yeah. That's
the guy that you want to see run a 4.3 easy money.
He's the lightest player measured at the combine in like 20 years, I think.
So you don't drop him on your board because, wow, he's small and he's slower than I thought he was?
Well, I know. I mean, there's some that probably didn't like him anyway because of the slight build, but he's blazing on tape. He gets behind everybody.
It's funny. He runs he separates for what you want him to do.
He does it.
He does it. I wouldn't drop him because I could get him running faster at Oregon, but
sure.
With the pro day.
How about this one? Tyler Booker, the last one I got for you.
Mm-hmm.
He ran the second slowest 40 at 5.38 for an offensive lineman.
Alabama guard, right?
Alabama guard.
Supposed to be a first rounder.
Cool.
Doesn't bother you a bit, does it?
No, I mean, what are we going to have our guards just line up? Boom.
Well, just athletic.
Go run straight. Run 40 yards for me. Go. No, if we're scoring a touchdown, if Tyler Booker's hauling his ass 40 yards down the field here, boys.
Yeah.
That's a touchdown play.
But see, they're saying
he might be late for the celebration, though.
But they're saying he's
something to consider.
Slow-footed guy.
He's at the 40, everyone else is in the end zone.
Slow-footed guy, but how does that impact you dealing with super quick players?
I don't know. Him pull, you can see him get to the second level on tape.
There you go.
I don't know. I think for guards of 40 time might be something to look at, Wolchuk.
If they're pitted pulling, maybe.
The 10-yard split
it's your quickness.
would be more.
Can you get to the second level?
Yeah. But he does.
Yeah,
he does.
10-yard split.
See, that's what I'm saying. This whole exercise here has been just don't get caught up in that. Yeah. Don't get it caught up in all the numbers. Just watch. Yeah, just watch the players. And if you see things that translate, like Golden speed translates to when you watch him play receiver at Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. He was so fast for one of those catches against Ohio State, he had to slow down and come back to it.
Yeah.
So I definitely think there's something to be said for the combine, but
the medicals.
You can't get
the medicals and the interviews.
Meet with the kids.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's important.
And tragically slow corners, right? A 4.7 wide receiver. We're done here, right? Yeah, those kind of things. It's like a ruling out process.
Well, they have a couple of running backs that ran the 4.5, like Neal from Kansas. He's a really good player.
Really,
he catches the ball.
A lot of good backs.
Yeah.
A lot of good backs.